Hello, everybody. This is Yvonne for Yvonne's Love Stream Walks. Friday. Gosh, what date is it? The 28th of August? Yes, it's the 28th of August, 2026. And I can see Kendall, Diane, Tom, all at the moment. But what a beautiful view indeed, Kendall. Gorgeous. There is Ludlow Castle and the Teme Bridge. And I thought, oh, hi, Bonnie, welcome. I thought, what an amazing place to start. What an amazing place to start. So Ludlow was created really after the Norman invasion. Hi, Jeanette. Yeah, that Norman invasion, 1066, William the Conqueror, changed everything. And poor Harold, King Harold, he'd gone north to beat the Vikings, and he did. And that was the end of the Viking invasion. And then he had to head south to meet the French army, and he lost. And the Normans took over, and the de Lacy family came here to Ludlow, thought this was a good vantage point up on the hill. Hi, Joan. And built this castle. And it was started, not long after 1066, 1090, I think. And of course, it's been added to and built on, but it's also a ruin now. And this bridge, the Teme Bridge, I think it's circa 1200 something. So beautiful. And I'm hoping the rain will hold off because it was spitting a little while ago and it's not helpful to my phone. But welcome, everybody. Welcome to Shropshire. And this is a very beautiful historic market town. And we're going to go across this bridge, up a very steep street, and through the market town. There's been a market at least 3 days a week in the centre of Ludlow for 800 or 900 years. Just fantastic. We don't get views like this in Australia. I don't think you get them in the US or Canada either. And this town, it has a Norman history, a medieval history, a Georgian history, right into the 21st century. And the river here is the River Teme, T-E-M-E. And it has salmon in it sometimes. And if all goes well, we're going to go up into the town, show you some of these 500 listed buildings, which are spectacular, and then drop down a very beautiful street to the other bridge. And look, beautiful bridge. Oh, King and Conqueror, I'll have to look that up. Yeah, gorgeous. And I just did this lovely walk through this forest on the other side of the river. Yes, houseman country indeed, Peter. I came across a quotation where he thought Ludlow was probably the prettiest town in England. So there you go. And I have a friend who's moved here. And isn't it nice they invited me to have a little stay between my sojourn in Edinburgh and going back to Glasgow tomorrow for a Waterboys concert. I thought I'd nip down here. Beautiful, these beautiful old bridges. So, and there's the castle. Ellen, hi. Yeah, well, the Netherlands has castles, I know as well. But let's have a look down into the river on this side. There's a lovely little cafe down here, and there were kids swimming. School goes back in England next week. So I think they were enjoying their last days of summer. And there's all these weirs built along the Teme because of all the mills that were along here. It was very famous for its wool. It's been famous for its glove making, its malting, all sorts of things. But yeah, that castle stands at a great viewpoint. Oh, and everybody yesterday, because I realized I was so close, guess who I went to visit? Hi, Jill. Guess who I went to visit? Ellen Mitchell. Hi, Susan. So if you've just come on, go back to the beginning sometime because I had a fantastic view of this bridge that I'm on now and the castle, and it was a fantastic view. But here's the River Teme. Yeah, so I went and visited Ellen, and I thought she might get on today because I explained to her how to join the walks again because she'd sort of lost that. So look, here's the River Teme on the other side. Very lovely walks up there. And you know, I thought that some of the trees were turning because autumn was coming, but they told me no, they're dying because of the drought. But thankfully yesterday it rained heavily. So I hope some of the trees can make a recovery. Just looking up to one of the towers there. So now I'm going to walk up into the town, past some gorgeous buildings. I think it was Napoleon's, I don't know whether it was his son or his brother, was a prisoner here for a while, detained. And yeah, so this bridge is 1200, 13th century. And there's lovely buildings sort of 14th century, then 18th century. So it's just a great look. Here's the little cafe down here. You see, these leaves are not autumn leaves, they're dying leaves. So people were very happy that it rained. Ah, look, there's a Union Jack. Look at that. There you are. Now you know where you are. And I can feel little drops of rain, but and there's just some beautiful, look, there's the castle. Beautiful wall here. And I don't want to have to put my umbrella up. Rosie is a long way away. Oh, sorry about that, everybody. I'm glad it looks like you've stayed on. Thank you. Gosh, I walked up that hill very fast, looking for signal. Somebody make a comment. So, hi, Sharon. Hi. Oh, hi, Al. If you're coming on now, go back to the beginning because there's a spectacular view of the Teme Bridge and Ludlow Castle. And I lost signal, and now I'm back. And I'm puffing. I'm puffing because, oh God, what's that? And apologies for last week as well in Edinburgh, when the signal disappeared on me as I went through that little alleyway. Oh, and then you missed me. There was a band playing, so I did a little jig for them. I did a bit of busking. Sorry. So this is Teme House, where built 1704. Lucien Bonaparte, captured brother of Napoleon, lived here. Yeah. Anyway, that was good energy running up that hill. And here's the walls of the castle. And if you go through that gate there, well, that archway, and down the hill, you come to the bridge that we just crossed together. And we're just going around the walls of the castle now. If you've ever been to Ludlow, it's just, look, plenty of these beautiful houses, these half timbered. Oh, Tricia, hi. Oh, Lyda, hope you're feeling better, Lyda. Yes, so okay. Hopefully we'll have good signal again. If you missed the beginning, do go back because I chose this great spot for the opening picture. And look at these walls. Walls built in the 11th century. Amazing. And so, yes, you can sort of see the Georgian influence. No, I did it. The opening picture was, I was across the other side of the River Teme. in one of the forest walks, and I took it back across the bridge, and then I just walked up that very steep hill very fast. And oh, hello, hello. Very cute. Oh, there you are. The boys are doing a little bicycle entertainment for you. But look at that house. Isn't that beautiful? Yes, Peggy, we're in the beautiful town of Ludlow, Ludlow. And there's that house over there, built 1700. I can read. There's all these little blue plates everywhere. And we're just outside the castle walls. Look. And yeah, and the amount of civic pride. All the front doors are so beautifully kept, and all the doorways. And look, this house here, during the Civil War, Ludlow backed the king, but when he lost, they surrendered to the parliamentarians without any trouble. So I read. Now, can I get down here? Wait, we'll just let these trucks go by. It was newly built. I mean, look at this. This has a late medieval behind and a Regency front. And then this one, look at the door. Fabulous door. Fabulous timber. Look at that, newly built in 1656 after burning in the Civil War. And look at the beautiful wood carving. Fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. Look at that. It's very nice to have you amongst us too, Lida. And if you've just come on, I announced it yesterday. I drove about an hour and a half, hour and 3/4 to visit Ellen Mitchell, who is in an assisted living place near Stroud, near actually the beautiful village of Painswick. I'd never heard of it before, but she was so happy to see me and to introduce her two cats, Ginger and Max. And we had a lovely lunch together. Now we're coming to the castle square, and this is where a market has been held for over 800 years. And it's on at least 3 days a week, everything from fruit and veg to arts and crafts. Yeah, exactly, Kendall. So many anonymous serfs when you think about it. And look, here's the opening to the castle, which we're not going to go in. But yeah, all the people who did the hard work. They have concerts in here in the summer, and they also have outdoor cinema. And there's lots of, this weekend, there's some historic events happening. Look at these doors. Just giving you a quick, I don't want the signal to go, giving you a quick look at the inside of the castle. Yeah. Yeah, so now we're going to take a little walk through the town. There you are, one of the finest medieval ruins in the UK. Now watch this little plaque. These plaques are really interesting. Yeah, not a very happy plaque. But everywhere you look, there's these listed buildings. This cannon was at the Battle of Sebastopol. Now there's history for you. But look, isn't it gorgeous? And it's so beautifully laid out. You know, the Normans knew what they were doing, didn't they? very very elegant, this part. And over here, this blue building on the corner is the assembly rooms. And that just brings Jane Austen to mind for me, how people in those days used to meet at the assembly rooms. It just speaks of another era. And look, I could take you down any of these side streets. And there's a gorgeous pub down there called the Blue Boar. And look, these market stalls were full when I came through at 2:30, but they've all shut up shop now. But don't worry, there's other things for us to see. And I haven't got an angel with me because I left it back in my bag. But we could reuse the one from last week, which was the angel of yielding, because we didn't really get into that. And it's such an important quality to yield. Look, that's called the Georgian House. It's apartments and a shop. And I'm going to take you this fantastic St. Lawrence's Church, tucked away behind these little alleyways, but possibly first. You can see these little alleyways, isn't it gorgeous? But Eileen today reminds us that we all have purity of spirit. Nice reminder, purity of spirit. And she says, as always, when we find peace and harmony in our own heart, we will change the world, bring peace and harmony to the whole world. And she asks us what we're putting first. Indeed, what are we putting first? I keep telling myself my evolution, my own evolution, in service to collective evolution of consciousness, is what I want to be concentrating on. Now I'm going to go down this little alleyway and hopefully don't lose signal, but hang in there with me. Now this pub on the left, the Rose and Crown, is very old. The oldest pub in Ludlow. And it says, beer and nourishment. 13th century. Yes, the late and great Dolly Parton, exactly. And there's the Rose and Crown. I'm not going to go in because I don't want to lose signal. And speaking of the great Dolly Parton, one of our trustees passed earlier this week. Diana Whitmore, who was our trustee when I arrived, and was also one of the founders of Psychosynthesis in the UK, and worked with Ashley Jolie. Hi, Evelyn. I think I already said hello to you, Tricia, didn't I? I wouldn't want to miss you. But yeah, Ludlow Museum up there, another beautiful half-timbered building. But wait till I show you my favourite one. Truly spectacular. If I haven't named you, you're very welcome. Eileen this week also talks about giving. Look, we're going to go down that street in a minute. Give and give, and don't hoard. Now look where this church, this fabulous church, is tucked away here. And what's great about this church, I'm not going to go in because the signal's not good. What's great about this church is that it's still a church, but inside there's a fabulous cafe, and it's like a community hub. So you can sort of go in and treat it like a church, but it's also there for the community. Fabulous. And I'm nicking around here because and you know what? I paid my £5 to go the 210 steps to the top of the tower, but my claustrophobia kicked in. It was really tight, and I got halfway up and I thought, you know what? I'm going to have a panic attack maybe, so I better go back down. So I did. Ah, well. Anyway, round the corner down here, yeah, so Eileen's saying don't hoard. Don't hoard your talent. Don't hoard your love. Don't hoard your money. Don't hoard your possessions. And most importantly, don't hoard your life force. Keep it all flowing. I think that's pretty good homework for life. Oh gosh, I hope the signal, because this is a very, look at this. Inside this Jubilee garden, look, this, have you ever seen anything so gorgeous? So there's this little garden. Is the signal all right now? What a beautiful place to come and sit. You've got the church on the left here, and you've got this beautiful building. You can see there's a bit of a wind. And then round here is really a gorgeous, this is called the Reader House. So this house, the reader lived here, and he was paid to read lessons from the Bible as an assistant to the rector. And this, look at the front of this. Can't put it all in. Look. Are you all still there? Jeanette says the signal is wonky, but I hope you're all still there. Look at the door. And up it goes. All right, we're going to come out of here, back to where maybe the signal is better. And look, there's all these little graves as well. Okay, that was a little diversion. We still have to get to my favourite house. Yeah, so I love that. Keep your talent, your love, your money, your possessions, your life force. Keep them flowing and don't hoard them. Oh, Ellen, okay. Yeah, see you soon. I'm doing a dance and game session with Ellen's group next week, next Wednesday. It's always loads of fun. You know, there's nothing as, what's the word, effective to build a group, to build community, than to get everybody dancing in a circle and playing some simple discovery games together. That building straight ahead with the blue and white is an arms house, built a long time ago, obviously. Yeah, so if any of you come here, good luck in climbing the tower. But it is a gorgeous church. Begun 1200, amazing, St. Lawrence. Okay, back out into the main drag. I better put my skates on. So I want to take you round to the Bull Ring. It's an amazing pub. And it's where they used to sell the cattle. Can't believe they let cars come through here. Ah, great, signal came back. This is the Bull Ring pub, 1600, first built by a lawyer. Yeah, first built by a lawyer and then turned into an inn in 1619. Oh, I hope the signal all came back for you. Yeah, so this area is where they used to sell the cattle. Now over there it says circa 1365. Astonishing, isn't it? 1365. Amazing. And then this little fish house here, rather gorgeous. And then around to my favorite building, probably the most famous one. It's, oh no, sorry, I got mixed up. The Bull Ring was always an inn. It's this one that was built by a lawyer and then turned into an inn in 1619. And here it is coming up on the left there. It's called Feathers. Don't laugh, they already have a Christmas tree inside. I went in and went, you've got a Christmas tree? They said, yeah, we put it up in June and we say 6 months to Christmas. But look, isn't that gorgeous? Yeah, hi Evelyn. I'm glad you're getting some of it. But look, isn't it, the window? Sorry, the windows are beautiful. And if I could go across, this is as far as we're going. Feathers Hotel. And look at the windows. And look at these carvings. Just beautiful. All the carvings up on the balcony. Look, another, that's a bank over there. And then this lovely one over here is Specsavers. I'm glad they've made them keep the original frontages because, you know, this town is really quite famous for its listed buildings. Yeah, I'm sorry about the signal, but hey, what can I do? Now I've got to get across the road. And the last thing is we're going to have a little jog. A little jog around, here we go. That was a mini, oops, Bonnie. We're going to have a little jog down Broad Street, which I don't know whether it used to have 55 pubs, but, or whether there was just 55 pubs in the town. But here we are back at the Bull Ring. And I should have been a tour guide, really. Now let's pray that the signal stays as I go up here. And this town, the Mortimer family took over. The Mortimers were the most influential family for a long time. They even had one of the Mortimers sort of became part of the crown of the UK. I can't remember how that happened, but look, this is when we get to the front of this one, it used to be a butter market. And now the museum is on the top floor. And here we go. Look at that. So down there on the ground floor was the butter market. And up there's the clock showing a slipware, nearly 25 to 5. And across here, you'll see this fabulous building. Well, it's a sort of, that shop, Bodnam's, has been there forever, apparently. like 1860 or something. Look at the beautiful wood carving there over those windows. And look, it just goes on and on with the lovely little windows jutting out all the way down there. Look at that. I've passed some ice cream shops, Bonnie, but I haven't had one. How about that? But look, there's the buttery. Just look at this. I mean, look, there's just fabulous listed buildings everywhere. And there's the church spire stuck in the back there. Just the most beautiful wood carvings. And like you said, Kendall, who did all these amazing things, and what were they paid? And where I started this walk, if you go back down to the Teme Bridge and the view of the castle, the walk along the river towards the second bridge is called the bread walk, because the men who created that path were paid in bread, because there was such poverty at the time. Look, just gorgeous house after gorgeous house. So this town has gone from Norman to medieval to Tudor to Georgian. And as we walk down this street, and often though the medieval behind the Georgian front are medieval backs. And oh, this one is, gosh, I have to go over the other side of the road for you to see the beauty of this one. Let's see what I can do. Look at the colour of it. Isn't it fab? Oh, Ellen, you found me. We're coming to the end of the walk, but no worries. You can always go back and look at it again. But look at this house. Lovely flowers there at the front door. It looks a little bit like a bumblebee. Anyway, Ellen, I'm really glad that you found us. Yes, the drought has sort of been broken here, and the hot weather also. So I'm walking down this street now. You can see it's very elegant. Of course, no garages, so all the cars are parked diagonally on the street. And you can see that grey building down the bottom. We're going to go through that. That's the portcullis. It's the only one of 7 remaining in the town. And look, see this, we're looking up now. Beautiful. So Ellen, I know you've never been to Ludlow, so go back to the beginning eventually and have a good walk around, because we've covered a lot of ground. You'll all be trailing out behind me trying to keep up. It was a bit like how my mum was. She'd go charging out ahead with all us kiddies running really fast to keep up with her. That's why I'm a fast walker, I think. And look, over every street is just beautiful. I'm glad that you're all getting to see it. And also, I forgot to mention this, the Council of the Marches. Now, the Marches means the border country between Wales and England. And Ludlow, I think at one time, was the capital of Wales in some way or other. And it also became the seat of the Council of the Marches. So not the Marshes, S-H, the Marches, C-H. I was a bit confused about that, but it is the Council of the Marches. Strange word. But yeah, look, all these gorgeous doorways. I mean, look, they're just beautiful and so well kept. So hopefully when we go through this little portcullis, which is a great word, Kendall, we don't lose signal like I did in Edinburgh. Ellen, I told everybody that I went to visit you yesterday and had such a lovely lunch with you in your very lovely new home. Okay. And if we look along to the right, I think we just see the city wall. Yeah, so the city wall heads up there. Okay, let's get through here without losing signal, because we're nearly at the end of the walk, which is at the other bridge. And this is Lower Broad Street we're coming into now, where there was apparently lots of pubs. And the one on the left here, the Wheatsheaf Inn, you can see I've done my homework. Here, look at that. Is that a beautiful pub or what? So looking back, that's what we've just come through. And here's the Wheatsheaf Inn. Looks like a classic English pub, doesn't it? And then we've got this lovely street that leads back down to the River Teme. And if any of you have been to Ludlow, you'll be remembering all of this, I imagine, because I don't think you could come to Ludlow and not walk down this little bit of town to the lovely bridge at the bottom. Again, another 13th century bridge, just amazing. And look at these cute little houses with their doorways. And they're sort of down below ground level, below road level. They've got their own little gardens. It's you can see why I'm tripping here. Yes, Ellen couldn't find the walks, but I showed her how to find them. So that was really useful. But walking on these, you can see they're sort of sticking up. So it's like a bit of a funny ride. Anyway, look, all these cute houses. Anyway, getting back to Eileen and the quality of yielding, sometimes it is definitely the better thing to do, to yield with discernment, of course. And Eileen today also talks about patience, persistence, and perseverance. Those three magical P's. Oh, look, that's a lovely set of doorways, isn't it? Right, I'm getting onto the road here. These stones are a bit much. But look, we're coming up to the bridge. Now, it's a single lane bridge, so there's lights. And it's just such a nuggety, solid bridge. Now, maybe I can go down there. Does it say it's private? Well, it doesn't say it's private. Open to the Fellowship of Lovelies. Because otherwise I can't get you to see this magnificent bridge from the. So there's one archway. Oh, there's actually too many trees. Anyway, the schedule has come out for the 2027 programs being run by the Findhorn Foundation Scottish Charitable Incorporated Organisation, the SCIO. Many experience weeks. The last, I think there's one in September this year, and I think there's one in December, and then they start again in February. And there's quite a lot of experience weeks and other courses, and I think it's all on the findhorn.org website. It's just started to rain, but look, the bridge has these little bits that you can go and get out of the way of the traffic. And I had dinner over there the other night, the Charlton Inn, and here's the river. So wait till this line of traffic finishes. This town was not built for cars. Oh, Diane, I know the paths and the lanes are gorgeous. I love them too. Okay, we're going to nip across to the other side. And look at these houses right on the river. And there's another weir there. Beautiful. So I think actually if I go the last little bit of this walk, I'm going to walk along down there where you can see those people and you can look back at the bridge. But it's a lovely, lovely spot, isn't it? Gorgeous tour. I'm glad to have included you. Next week we'll be back at Findhorn and the dance festival will be beginning on the Saturday the 5th. I've ended up sort of being the hostess for the dance festival, holding anything that goes wrong, really. Of course, nothing will go wrong. Look at that, isn't that gorgeous? But wait a minute, we have to get a perspective here. Oh, that's a really cute little house too, look. Anyway. Look, there's a bit of the bridge. Isn't it nuggety? It's very nuggety. And I'm going to take you down to the weir here. I'm ignoring the rain. It's just little spits at the moment. So I think what I want us all to take away from today's walk, other than the beauty of it, is not to hoard our life force, our talents, our money, our possessions, but to let them flow. Ah, Sharon, I'm glad you've enjoyed it. It was rather wonder-filled, wasn't it? I'm glad. So I started at the Denham Bridge, which is further along, and then we walked up to the town, past the castle, through the market town, down to the other bridge. Look, there's a couple of ducks for Tom down there. And I'm just coming to the weir. But look at that. I think there's no greater picture to end with, really. What do you think, Evelyn? And Joan and Trisha? Good place to end. Anyway, I hope any of you who've been having health challenges are feeling better. I hope you feel that you belong to the Fellowship of Lovelies, that we all are connected. And at one level, we are all one. As each of us frees ourselves and liberates our consciousness, we do something for the whole. It's very nice to feel the love and connection going on. But look, I'm just heading down here. You can see the level of the water changes. Maybe that was an old mill over there. All right, I think that's about it for today. So just heading back down, urging you to go back to the first bridge. Oh, yes, Diane, fantastic that you're in a new place now. And also remember the free meditations that Joy Drake is offering at the beginning of September. You can find them on visitecovillagefindhorn.uk. Ah, Trisha, that's lovely. Anyway, so I leave you with the quality of yielding whenever that might serve you. I'm going to go now and put up my umbrella. Lots of love to you. See you in Findhorn next week. Mwah! Bye.